Hey, it's Emily Williams, the founder of I Heart My Life, and you are host of the I Heart My Life show. This is episode 168, How to Stop Hiding and Go for Your Dreams. So this episode was inspired by one of my clients who admitted that she actually hides from my husband, James. James is a certified high performance coach, and he often talks about sleep and energy and exercise and food, and he supports all of our clients in living their best lives. And one of the things that often comes up during his calls is a bit of shame. Now, this is not due to James shaming people, but we all know that those of us who are overachievers or high achievers, oftentimes it's go, 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 work, 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 and we don't actually take care of ourselves and our health. And so faced with the reality of what we need to start doing in order to be successful and in order to not burn out, it can feel like there's a lot of guilt there. It can feel like you kind of want to hide. You don't actually want to have the conversations because ultimately, you know what's going to happen if you face the reality. It's going to mean that it's time to change. And with change comes a lot of fear. So I thought I'd do an episode today a little bit about what to do when that comes up for you so that you can stop hiding and actually experience transformation and the results that you want. So let's dive in. Are you a coach looking to hit that coveted six-figure milestone? Are you looking to better understand how to map out your revenue so you actually reach your financial goals in the coming year? Do you want to get more clarity on who your ideal client is, what program is going to help you get financial wins, how to shift your mindset to become that six-figure earner? If so, keep listening. I'm hosting a brand new masterclass called How to Create a Six-Figure Coaching Business this year on January 18th, and you are invited. All you have to do is go to iheartmylife.com/6/figures. We'll put the link in the show notes, don't worry, but that's iheartmylife.com/6-figures, and you'll be able to sign up for this incredible training. So we really believe that anything you desire is possible for you and meant for you, and that includes wealth and abundance. So if you want to know how to make it a reality this year, that six-figure level or even more, this training is going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm also going to take your personal questions, so you're going to want to tune in live. All right, so go ahead and sign up, iheartmylife.com/6-figures, and make sure to save your seat. We are so excited to see you there and support you in your next level growth. Okay, so like I said, this episode was inspired by one of our incredible clients. I'm not going to name names here, but I'm sure that everyone can relate with experiencing that guilt or shame that comes from knowing you need to change in order to get a result and not actually being willing to take the action or having the courage to take the action. So the one example that I just gave around health is definitely a common one. I know that so many people, they know what they're supposed to be doing, but actually taking the action is very different. And I don't actually like to use the word supposed to. I like to use the phrase get to, because we all have an opportunity to change. And when we say supposed to, that actually creates this feeling of obligation, right? So that's one of the first shifts that we can make here together. I'm going to stop saying supposed to, and I'm going to say get to. So as you're going to the next level in your life and your business, or you're looking to transform, most likely, if you're listening to this episode, you're somebody who has a coach or a mentor, or you love personal development, or you're looking for materials like this to support you in going to the next level. And sometimes that means you're going to be faced with teachings or methodology or framework or even step-by-step processes that encourage you to make some big shifts in your life. Now, I want you to understand the mind and what happens when you hear this. So first and foremost, if someone is teaching you about making a change, your mind is automatically going to throw up a big stop sign because it doesn't actually want to make the change, because it doesn't know a reality where that change is in existence. So let me give you a tangible example. Maybe you know that it's really important for you to get more sleep. And right now you're going to bed at like 11 or 12, and that's not really cutting it. You're waking up tired, you're sleeping in too late, you're just not living the life that you want in terms of energy. But thinking about going to bed at 8 p.m. is really challenging because your mind is like, oh no, how are you ever going to finish your work in time? When are you going to eat dinner? When are you going to be able to watch The Bachelor or whatever it is that's coming up? All the things that you do from 8 to 11 p.m., your mind is going to throw those things at you. And all of a sudden, it's going to be easier to avoid the conversation or the topic altogether than actually take the action. Because again, the mind doesn't know what's going to happen. The mind doesn't know how to predict the future. All it can do is pull from the past to have an understanding. And so maybe you felt like you missed out the last time you went to bed early. Maybe it's not something you did in your family, and so you don't actually have an experience with it. Now, this is just one simple example, but let's take another one as a more business-related example. So maybe you have a coach who's encouraging you to get on Facebook Live. And the encouragement is to go for 30 days. Every single day, you're going to do a Facebook Live for 30 days. And you're going to get huge results. You're going to get clients coming your way. You're going to grow your email list. You're going to make more sales. But you have a fear of being visible. And so because you have that fear, you're avoiding your coach. You're avoiding the whole topic of conversation because you don't want to have to admit that you're not doing it and you don't want to actually make a change, right? So I hope this is landing for some of you. So my encouragement to you is to take a look at those moments where you are hiding. And this one in particular, like I told you, my client, she was hiding from James. She didn't want to get on the group coaching calls with James, so she avoided his calls. She didn't show up in the Slack channel and post to ask him questions. It was basically like she was pretending like she didn't need him and that she didn't have any problems or solutions to create in her life and her business. But we all knew that she wasn't sleeping enough. She wasn't protecting her energy. Her diet was not actually serving her and everything that she wants to do in her life and her business. And so honestly, there was no winning involved in what it was that she was doing. She was literally just hiding. And because she was hiding, we had no idea and we couldn't help her. So one of the things that we always say at I Heart My Life is to show up and ask the questions, show up and get support. We cannot help our clients if they go into hiding. This often happens for people when they feel ashamed of something that's going on. Maybe they feel like they should be further along. Maybe they feel like they're asking stupid questions and that the group is not going to get them or feel like they're established enough. And so they'll be made fun of. But as you can probably see, all of these stories in our mind have to do with fear. And so if you're hiding, you can be assured that there's some sort of fear going on, whether it's fear of judgment, fear of change, fear of success. I also see that one, right? So sometimes people are worried about getting too successful. I used to have this same fear. So when I started off in my business, I worried about what would happen to my relationship if I became successful. I know myself. I know how much I love to work, but I also knew that I wanted to be married and I wanted to have a strong relationship. And in the beginning, I didn't know how those two things could coexist. Now, I'm not saying that it caused me to go into hiding, but I am saying that I know how it feels to experience fear. So you might be asking yourself, okay, great. I can see that I have some fear. I see that I have some shame, right? For those of us who have kind of snuck food in the middle of the night and not wanted to tell our partner or let anyone know that we did that, that's shame. That's hiding because there's guilt there. And there might be fear of change, fear of missing out. What's going to happen if I give up the sugar? What's going to happen if I commit to giving up the chocolate? And so our mind will pull out the worst case scenario. So again, this is what we need to do in order to transform that. So if we find ourselves hiding, if we find ourselves going into guilt, we need to start to ask ourselves, okay, so what would be the result, the positive result, by the way, that's important. What would be the positive result of me making this transformation, of me giving up the sugar, of me going to bed at 8 p.m., of me exercising more or taking care of my health, of me getting on Facebook Live? What would be the positive result? Obviously, there's a million things we could list here. If we're using the example of sleep, well, you're going to have more energy. You're going to live longer. You're going to make more money in your business because you will be more energized, right? There are probably things that you can't even imagine because you haven't experienced this yet. I know for me, when I started to protect my sleep and really put a focus on it, The results were endless, and I started to love going to bed at 8:30. I truly do go to bed at 8:30 nearly every single night, sometimes even on the weekends. And for some of you out there, you're probably like, oh, that's really boring. But I've said this to many clients and they're like, oh, that sounds glorious. I wish I could do that. And the truth is you can, but you have to get past that terror barrier and that point of feeling so scared of the change and focus on the results, the positive results that you're going to experience instead. So we all know getting on Facebook Live, there'd be a lot of incredible benefits to that. More clients, more sales, your message gets spread further and faster. And yet we're so focused on the fear. So you literally need to shift your focus onto the positives. And when the mind tries to tell you, hey, Emily, this is too scary, I can't do it, or this is too much change, or you're going to miss out, you shift your focus immediately back onto the thing that you actually want. Okay? And by the way, coaches know when you are avoiding them. This happens all the time with me. So I am never ashamed to personally reach out to people about working with me. So if we have a new opportunity and there's somebody on my radar who I think would be a great fit for our mastermind or one-on-one coaching, you better believe that I will personally reach out to them. I will get in their inbox. I will send them an audio message, whatever it takes to support them in moving forward. You would not believe the amount of people who don't even respond. And this is not even a, people are busy conversation. This is a people are hiding conversation. There's a really beautiful quote by Marianne Williamson, and it basically talks about the fact that we are scared of our own light. We are scared of what we are capable of. And that's exactly what's happening when you go into hiding around opportunities. So when people reach out to me for opportunities, I at least get back to them. I at least have the conversation. So many coaches who I've worked with, and I know I'm going on a tangent here, but stick with me. So many coaches who I've worked with, I haven't had the money or the resources to sign up right away, but I still reached out and had the conversation to get the information. I put myself in the game even before I could technically afford the game, which I absolutely love that about myself. I have to say, I will go for it, even if it doesn't seem like it makes any sense, even if the dots aren't connecting, I will put myself in the game. And so you have to ask yourself, when people reach out to you to invite you to an opportunity, how are you responding? Are you allowing yourself to see that maybe they see something in you that you don't? Or are you going into fear and hiding and not responding? And again, I know that there are instances where, we're all busy and maybe you meant to respond, but you didn't. But there are schools of thought who would say, that's just your subconscious stopping you from taking that action, right? You're forgetting unintentionally, but there's subconscious stuff there that's holding you back. So I would really take a look at how you're showing up. So evaluate your actions or lack thereof on a regular basis. Where are you hiding? Literally make a list. I'm hiding when it comes to my health. Maybe you don't want to go to the doctor because you're scared of what they'll say, right? Isn't it way better to have clarity and to hear the truth than to hide? Hiding requires so much negative energy. And so you have to ask yourself what you're getting from hiding. And it's basically just staying stuck, staying in the dark, not moving forward, staying safe. And I have safe in quotation marks, because what the mind deems as safe is not actually safe. It's not safe for you not to take care of your health. It's not safe for you to ignore the doctor's appointment. It's not safe for you to not have a coach and support to go to the next level. It truly isn't. That's the cowardly route. And I know that might sound a little bit harsh, but it's true. So I would recommend that you literally make a list of all the ways in which you're hiding right now. And then you make a decision about what action you're going to take to get out of hiding and to really show up. And remember that if someone reaches out to you, they see something in you. They believe in you. And again, I know that we're all busy, but take a second to respond to them. They reached out, have a human interaction, have some compassion for them taking the time to slide into your DMs, to reach out with an audio message, right? That's really powerful. Don't go into hiding. Even if you're not ready for something or it doesn't feel aligned in the moment, at least have the courtesy to respond. And if you are working with a coach or you are supported in some capacity, don't go into hiding. You've most likely paid money to be supported. You've paid money to be in the group or to work with the person. Take advantage of that. Really show up and give it your all, because that's what you deserve. You deserve a full-on experience. You deserve true transformation. And we both know that fear isn't real anyway. The mind does not know how to predict the future, so it's pulling from the past. Right? But the past is no indication of what's possible for you. So we have to remember that we are capable, we are strong, we no longer want to operate out of fear, right? Otherwise, we are destined to stay stuck forever if that's the mentality we're going to have. And this goes for opportunities as well. So if you see something that piques your curiosity or, is exciting to you, reach out and ask the questions. The other day I was scrolling through Instagram, and on one of the Instagram stories of one of the bloggers who I follow, she was sharing information about her jeweler. And she said, my family jeweler gave me permission to give you her phone number so you can text her about any jewelry that you want to purchase in the coming future. And my initial thought, if I'm being totally honest, was, oh my goodness, she must be a luxury jeweler. I don't know that I'm in the market for a $50,000 ring or piece of jewelry, so I probably shouldn't reach out. And this is me. I've done tons of money mindset work, but I quickly caught myself, realized that's still a default, right? I'm going to work on that. And I took action. I got that number. I texted that woman, and we've been in conversation ever since, because I realized I was making an assumption. And I was going to go into hiding, even though my desire is to replace my engagement ring, which I've since done since recording this episode. But that was my desire during that time. Okay. And so I at least reached out and had the conversation, and I put myself in the room, because again, what would the worst be that could happen? She didn't respond, or she told me that she would keep me in mind, but the budget needs to be this, this, and this, or maybe I have a higher budget than what she normally provides people with, right? We have all these assumptions going on in our mind, and that does not get us anywhere. So stay true to what it is that you actually want. Listen to those people who are further along and take the action, because they're able to guide you. When you go into hiding, no one benefits. The coach doesn't benefit. Teacher doesn't benefit. You definitely don't benefit. If you're in a group program, everyone else who could potentially gain from you asking your question, they don't get to benefit. The world doesn't get to benefit because you haven't actually moved forward. So truly, this thing where you're hiding and you're staying small, it's literally not serving anyone. So I want to pull out this exact quote that I paraphrased just a second ago and leave you with this message. Okay, this is by Marianne Williamson. She says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others." And that's what this is all about. Remember, yes, change, it can bring up a lot of emotions for you, but it is safe to change. So release all of the stuff that you are experiencing, all of the guilt, all of the fear. And remember, what got you here most likely won't get you there. And so transformation is required for you to go to the next level. So I hope this resonates with you. I hope this is encouraging for you to no longer be hiding, to step up, to shine, to ask the questions, to get support, and to remember that everything you want is possible for you, but it takes you moving past that fear. I hope you loved today's episode. Make sure to take action, make your list, get clear and obvious with yourself and honest about where you're hiding in your life and your business, and then take action to rectify that and get into forward motion towards your dreams. I believe in you, and I'm grateful to have you as a part of the I Heart My Life show. See you on the next episode. We hope you loved this episode. Thank you so much for being an avid listener of the I Heart My Life show. Take a second and leave a review. It would mean so much to us, and we read all of them. And for further inspiration and life and business tips about creating a life that you love and achieving massive success, definitely follow us at I Heart My Life on Instagram and at I Heart My Life Now on Facebook. See you next time.